Hello and welcome back to my channel, Hightunnel and Field Tomato Production. Today is February the 24th, and I thought I'd just get the season started with a video inside my tunnel here and tell you some of the perils of owning a high tunnel. Yesterday was the 23rd, and about lunchtime started sleeting, and we had probably half-inch sleet. It probably quit sleeting about 8 o'clock last night. And this is one of the things you have to think about when you go purchase a high tunnel. Now, they're the greatest things in the world, and I love them, but there's some maintenance, especially in the winter. And depending on what part of the country you live in will determine how strong of a structure. And by that I mean the purlings and how many cross braces and stuff you have with it. And I'll tell you a story. I started off, I think it was 2012. I don't remember exactly when I built my first high tunnel. I'd have to look at it, but I started off with one, and then a couple of years later I added two more. Well, in 2013 we were predicted to have some snow, and I didn't realize there'd be more ice associated with this snow than there was, but it started off with some snow, maybe an inch or so, a couple inches, no big deal. And here's the thing, I had made a barbecue dinner for some friends, asked them to come over for lunch. And about 1 o'clock it did. It started snowing, and then eventually later on it started sleeting. Well, they left about 5 o'clock, and I had made some, we'll call it a rake, kind of a snow rake. It was a 20-foot long piece of conduit. On the end of it I put about a 16-inch, maybe 18-inch wide piece of metal, bolted a board to it, wrapped all that in some felt and some really soft material. And what that was for was so that I could reach up high on this tunnel and pull the snow off. Now that was going to be my snow removal system. And so it started. So about 5 o'clock I came down here. Well, it really started snowing, a lot more than what they had predicted. They had said maybe a couple inches of snow and maybe a 1/4 inch of ice at the most, and I wasn't overly worried about that, but we wound up with probably 3/4 of an inch of ice and probably 7 inches of snow. And I knew that weight was too much for what these tunnels was designed for. Mine can probably handle 4 inches of snow maximum. Well, with 3 tunnels that I had to work with, I spent all night long, literally from 5 o'clock till maybe 7, 8 the next morning, raking snow off. And as fast as I would rake it off, it would come back. Well, when you've got 2 84-foot long tunnels and 1 60-foot long tunnels, it was absolutely all night long. And so I just wasn't able to get it all off, to be honest with you. And so about 10 o'clock I decided to go in. I ate some breakfast. I was wore out, didn't have a bit of energy left in me, and I thought I'd rest just a little bit and go back and remove the rest of the snow from tunnel, what we call tunnel number 3. Well, by the time I got back, tunnel number 3 had collapsed in, and I just could not keep up with the snowfall. So all that being said, I decided I was going to have to do something, some more drastic measures. So I bought some, I use diesel fuel. I call them shop heaters, torpedo heaters, ready heaters. There's a lot of names for them, and I'll show you what one looks like. All right, there we go. Now that's the one for this tunnel. I have one for the other tunnel too, and of course these are diesel generators and I have a gasoline generator right over there, and these are diesel powered heaters. And what I have to do, hang on, let me readjust the camera. Now here's the thing about those. all the heat from them goes up towards the top. Now, if it's, let's say it's 27 degrees in here, within an hour you can see the ice and snow melting up above, and then what it will do, some of it, not all of it, but some on the sides there will kind of slough off. It'll get warm enough that you break your bond. This year I've gone to a little bit more drastic measures, and I use some rock salt. Now, as long as that rock salt is on the outside of the tunnel and none of it gets inside, you're going to be okay. It doesn't seem to hurt the plastic. I have my heater, and then I made one more device, a little different this year than what I've done in the past. I don't rake from the outside. I break the ice and snow from the inside. Let me show you. This is a 8-foot long, 1x1, just old pine board, old shop board I had there. On the top, I cut about I don't know, that's 8 or 10 inch circle, and I put it on screwed it into the board. It's made just a 3/4 inch piece of scrap wood, and I've got some vinyl material that I wrapped around it, and that's to keep from hurting the plastic. And then you can take it and you can bump that ice with it, and it breaks and it'll come on off. And what I've got that for is way up high. Let me see if there's really not much on it right now. I don't know if I can get you a shot, but you can probably hear it rolling off. Okay, and so that's kind of what I'm doing. So I want you to consider winter when you buy a Hightunnel. Now, like I say, I think they're the greatest thing in the world. But it's all I can do. Last night, now I got out pretty fortunate last night. Seems like the sleet and ice always, freezing rain always comes late at night, or at least dark time. And so I started about 4 o'clock yesterday, and I only spent about 4 hours down here. By 8 o'clock, the freezing rain sleet had stopped, so I actually got to sleep all night last night. And it is now about 9:30. We're expecting some more freezing rain around lunchtime, if not before. And so about 11 o'clock, I'll come down here and crank these heaters up and let the place start warming up inside. And that's what you're going to have to do if you're going to be in this business. Now, I don't know what people do further up north. They obviously have a lot stronger structure than what I do. And but you're still going to, I mean, I just don't, I've seen them up in Nebraska and places. I've seen them cave in. Sometimes they get a foot of snow. I don't know if one of them can hold a foot of snow. I don't know what the weight of a foot of snow is per square foot, but you can bet it's heavy. So if you're going to buy one of these things, go ahead and make some plans. Realize that you're going to have to invest in some kind of a snow removal system. These heaters do work. I highly recommend them. I do have another one which is not working. That gives me 3, but I've got another one that doesn't work. Now, here's the thing too, buying a new one's just great and dandy, but when you get an older one, don't wait till the day before that the snow and ice hits to check all your equipment out. And that's what I did this year, waited. Now, and I forgot to tell you, we've already had one round. 2 weeks ago, we had ice and snow, and so my generator got it out. The fuel line was leaking on it, had to repair it real quick. One of the heaters didn't work. In Arkansas, we have a lot of dirt daubers, and these heaters have a sensor in them. And that sensor is a photo sensor that tells if the flame is on. If the flame is not on, well, then it shuts the system down, and you need that because otherwise you're spraying diesel into the air and you're going to make a mess and run your soil and everything else, and that's dangerous. So I had a dirt dauber get on one of my sensors. I had to go in there and take part of it apart, get the dirt dauber out of the sensor, clean it up, put it all back together, and it worked. But several days, if you know it's going to ice and snow and freeze, get your heaters out, get them ready, get them down in the tunnel, get everything ready so when it happens, you'll be good to go, and then all you've got to do is just come down here and turn them on. I can turn them on and leave for several hours if I need to. It's not, anything you just got to sit there and watch, but make sure your equipment's in good working order. Make you one of these little paddles so you can help assist by pushing up and breaking ice off the roof and everything. So I'm going to leave it right there. I think within 3 or 4 days I'll be doing a video on planting. I'm about ready to start sowing seeds and get ready by the 1st of March. I'm ready to put seeds in the flats and get them germinated. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you next time.